You know, I've been falsely accused of mansplaining. I'm not mansplaining. I'm old mansplaining. Subscribe to the channel, you bastard. Where are my good glasses? Has anybody seen my good glasses? Will I have to get up to? Will I have to get up to do that? How am I supposed to know? I don't know. Go on the Google machine. What the hell do I know? That's not what I said. I mean, it's what I meant, but it's not what I said. What do you mean, what did I mean? That's not what I meant was... What do you mean, you can't say that either? What the hell am I listening to? Someone turn that shit off!
Don't you realize we're about the only species on the planet? We don't just mate. We make love, heart to heart, eye to eye. Yeah, not in Canada. They do a doggy style in Canada. You know why? So they can both watch the hockey game.
Thanks for joining me on Old Mansplaining. Today's topic, we're going to talk about neighbors and being neighborly. I am spending more time with my neighbors because I'm empty nesting. There's no one home but me and Mrs. Briscoe, so I'm spending a lot more time chatting up my neighbors, trying to be friends with them. I really am. I live just north of New York City, and we had a bunch of COVID refugees that moved up here, and they're trying to turn us into a little mini Manhattan or a mini Brooklyn. It's maddening. This one guy next to me, his name's Chaz. He works on Wall Street. That's all I know. I know he's a horse's ass. That's all and I know this. He's the salt of the earth. No, he really is. He's the salt of the earth. I mean, as long as it's hand-harvested clay-mined sea salt or Himalayan pink mountain salt and hand-kilned and with bamboo cylinders, then he's definitely salt of the earth. I think he has a salt cellar in his basement. Pretentious Chaz. And then he's married to, I just call her... I don't even know her name. I don't talk to her. Every time I talk to her, it's like she puts her eyes up in the sky and wants to connect with the mothership to drop her IQ down 100 points to talk to an idiot like me. So what I do now is she wants an idiot. I'm a people pleaser. That's what she gets. I try to make it discreet, pull tapeworms out of my nose while I'm talking to her, and she just spins around and walks away very quick. So mission accomplished. I don't have to talk to her too often. And they're always saying we have no kids by choice. We don't have any kids by choice. So our block, we have a corner house, and all the kids will play on the yard, and occasionally some will go over the fence. Now they have their mother-in-law. We call her Night Mary. Night Mary will sit on her chair in the backyard, and if something goes over our fence into her yard, she bolts like an Olympic sprinter, picks it up and yells, "When your mother can tell me how this got here, then you can have it back." And the kid's like. And my wife, Mrs. Briscoe, kindest, nicest person in the entire world, keeps telling me that perhaps her anger towards the children is because she doesn't have any grandchildren. We don't know what went on in her life. We should be kinder and nicer to her. I'm like, I don't understand. She just darts after that ball. But when she's not darting after the balls in the yard, when she's out in public, she uses a walker. She doesn't need the walker. She's using it for a divining rod to break through lines and stuff. So one day, Mrs. Briscoe comes home from work, and she looks at me and she's like, Tom, yes, dear? Why is Night Mary's walker in the hallway? Oh, I forgot to tell you what happened. So I remember you telling me to be nicer to her. Yeah. And I'm really trying. Okay. I said, well, she was outside. We have a sidewalk in front of our house, and she was walking with her walker. And she goes, yeah. I said, well, she kind of took a tumble. I mean, a slow motion, boom, 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 boom. There should have been cartoon sound effects. So I ran out and I helped her up. But her walker landed in our yard. So I told her when her mother can call me, then she can have it back. See, where we grew up, when I was a kid, we didn't have a backyard. My younger childhood was spent in the Bronx. And we lived in a building. The building was so big that the milkman, that was his entire route, was our building. It was a 20-story building, I don't know, six apartments times. It was a huge building. And the milkman, that was everybody had kids. Everybody in the building had kids, except the people right next door to us. And their names were Loud Marilyn and Phil. So we're having supper. The TV tube was broken. TV tubes to warm up. Do you have any idea what a TV tube is?
I don't, but I just...
So anyways, the TV tube was out. We were waiting for it. So we had no TV. We're eating supper. It's very quiet in our house. And we're hearing noises coming from next door that I've never heard before. I'm hearing lady pleasures like, oh, Phil, Philly, We never heard that kind of. So I looked at my father, and my father's the kind of man who, when asked an uncomfortable question, his answer was always, I don't know, go ask your mother. So we're hearing this thing going on in the bedroom next to us, or apartment next to us, and I'm like, hey, Dad, is everything okay with Marilyn? And my father, I don't know, go ask your mother. So I go, my mother, without skipping a beat, just looks at it. She goes, well, Marilyn is stuck in the bathtub, and Phil is trying to help her out. Totally plausible. Me and my brother, my sister, we said, oh, okay, didn't think anything of it. A couple days later, I had tonsillitis so bad that the doctor told me to stay home from school, and we never were home from school sick, ever. No, all the kids, the classroom full of kids were perfect at 10. No one was allowed to be home sick. The doctor made me. My tonsillitis was so bad. My father wanted me to rub dirt on it and walk it off. He wanted me to walk off tonsillitis. So anyway, so I'm homesick by myself. My mother's freaking out. She's working. Are you going to be? I'll be fine. I was old enough to watch myself. I'll be fine. She goes, well, I left money for the milkman. I'll be fine. And if you have any problems, Marilyn's next. I'll be fine. So she calls me. This was my end of the conversation. Yes, I'm fine. Yes, I'm fine. Well, Marilyn got stuck in the bathtub again, but this time the milkman got her out. So anyway, so Chaz, the pretentious neighbor, they bought this big swimming pool. I mean, this monstrosity of a swimming pool. And then they invited everybody in the neighborhood for a party. Everybody loves Mrs. Briscoe. Everybody tolerates me, but she's like, we should try to be good neighbors. I'm like, fine. So we go over to the party. And as usual, the first thing he says to me is like, hey, Tom, you still doing that comedy thing? Yep. You still robbing old ladies' pension funds? Anyway, I don't say that, but I try to be nice, I'm trying to grow. So I get over to the house. Oh, beautiful pool, blah, blah, blah. And they say, hey, Tom, you travel a lot. I go, yeah. He goes, were you ever in Mexico? Oh, yeah, all the time. He goes, I was just in Mexico for a symposium. I don't know what a symposium is, but he was there for that. He goes, I was there for a symposium, and I picked something up in Mexico. So what'd you? I go, you might want this. I go, I don't want. What do you got? He goes, I got a shot. I don't want it. He goes, he pulls out. He goes, it's Viagra. You want? I don't want one. He goes, take one. I go, I don't want one. He goes, you could take it. I go, I don't want it. Fine. He goes, why don't you take it? So I took it, but I didn't take it. I took it. I wrapped it in a piece of ham, and I gave that to his dog. It was one of those little wiener dogs, man. You never seen anything like that in all your life. That dog won the 5-legged race all by himself. I'm not kidding. He won the pole vaulting contest too, like boom, 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 boom. So he's not talking to me anymore, but the dog is. He's always knocking on my door. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, Briscoe, you got any more of that crap? I got a poodle down the block I want to be banging later. So I tell this obvious joke on a cruise ship, and there was a woman in the front row who was drunk and didn't like the joke, and she was her husband owned a business, and they brought everybody on a cruise for a treat. And so the whole company was kissing her ass the whole time. She's completely drunk. I tell that stupid, corny Viagra joke with a dog, and she stands up. That's animal cruelty. Excuse me? That's animal cruelty. How could you? I said, I would never. I'm an animal lover. I would never. It's an obvious joke. I said, I would never. I go, no. I would never give Viagra to a dog. Okay then. I go, but it really was a talking dog. Well, it doesn't matter as long as you didn't give it Viagra. So the other thing I hate about my neighbor Chaz is, again, we live just north of New York City. He's not from New York, but he got a job in Manhattan and he moved up here. And every time you talk to him, it done in Manhattan. I was like, we worked in Manhattan. We lived in Manhattan. We grew up in he thinks he's way up in the country, like he took a wagon train instead of a commuter train to work. So Chaz is always talking about sports because he's a Red Sox fan. Now, he's not from Massachusetts and he's not a Yankee fan, but he always works it into a conversation that he's a Red Sox fan. Do you know why he does this? Because he wants to say, I went to school there, so that makes you say, oh, really? What school did you go to? And I never take the bait. He wants so bad to let you know he went to, I went to college in Boston. That's why I became a Red Sox fan. Good for you. Never ask him where he went. I think You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask him if he went to Sussex County Community College. That'll probably. Anyway, so Chaz goes to get himself a cup of coffee at the local coffee shop. And it's a place called Cranky Pete's. Now, Pete is he's pretty sure he was an old leg breaker back in the day. And when you go in, you have two choices, milk and sugar or black. And that's it. Chaz walks in with his bicycle helmet on his head. He rode his bike to the coffee shop, and he still had the helmet on his head with the rear view mirror sticking out. He looked like some kind of an ant with a bedpan on his head. So he's in line for coffee. It's cash only. So he walks in. He's like, can I get a latte fruité with mocha serendipitous? And Pete goes, excuse me. He goes, can I get what's your stance on soy milk? You get coffee with milk or without, with sugar or without, and a cup to go. Pay the cash. You need to look forward to my Yelp review. Though actually, you should not look forward to it because I'm gonna use some startling words in my review on Yelp. He goes, Yelp this, pal, and get out of my coffee shop. So as he's walking out, I looked at him. I said, I told you we're just north of the city. So thanks for watching, and I hope you're good. Get along with your neighbors. I'm trying. I'm really trying, but it's not easy. So hit subscribe, get on the social things on the apps. I think I'm on an app or something like that. The kid told me I'm on the computer. So if you're on the computer, hit subscribe and you can watch me on the face tubes on another dish. And also drop me an email if you want me to cover a topic. Where are my good glasses? Has anybody seen my good glasses? Will I have to get up to do that? How am I supposed to know? I don't know. Go on the Google machine. What the hell do I know? That's not what I said. I mean, it's what I meant, but it's not what I said. What do you mean, what did I mean? That's not what I meant was... What do you mean, you can't say that either? What the hell am I listening to? Someone turn that shit off!